What happens when you drop the weight of a car by 130 pounds? You also give it a ton more aerodynamics with downforce, completely changing the entire look of the car. This is the brand new Maserati GT2 Stradale, and it's completely changed the way I look at the brand. And today we're gonna drive it so I can show you why. This is a $391,000 prices tested mid-engine track-focused supercar, and I come from vehicles similar to that. You know, we love going to the track on this channel. We've tested out every track-focused car you can imagine, from the GT3 RSs, even towards the hypercars, and like the 750S on that side of the screen. Today, I just gotta show you how the brand has completely changed with this car, and this is similar to the likelihood of an LT or an RS from McLaren or Porsche. Here's why. Before we begin, what is the philosophy behind making a track-focused supercar? Well, obviously, these brands have an idea where they want to go with these cars down the road, and they start out with the most dialed-down or watered-down version of their vehicles as possible to have you come back to keep getting the faster car. Well, Corvette does this quite well. Every other year, a newer and better one comes out, but unlike those cars, a lot of the American performance cars actually, when the American performance cars get towards a higher horsepower version, a faster track dedicated version, they actually fall short of what these brands are able to do, because when you look at this car, yes, it has more horsepower, it is faster around the track, it has more downforce, it's more capable, but guess what? It weighs less than an MC20 did. And it honestly doesn't matter where we look on this car, the design has been completely just changed. It's way more aggressive. You know, you have these really cool side louvers above each fender. You have that stunning center hood escape. All these front hood vents give you air discharge going from the center of the front bumper, and that air discharge gives you more vertical pressure on the front end of the car with the air traveling out. So it's quite fascinating, and I think more cars should say goodbye to the front, because this this looks like a race car. You may be thinking like, oh my gosh, you're just gonna shoot rocks out of these wheel wells, but surprisingly, yeah, that's gonna happen. But if you PPF it, hey, shout out to Speed Phenom Film. If you guys need any PPF or ceramic coating and more, we are in our studio, the Speed Phenom HQ and the studio, Speed Phenom Film, where we wrap these types of special cars. These are actually forged wheels, and compared to a standard MC20, they're lowering unsprung weight by about 42 pounds. I love the finish of these wheels, by the way, especially with the paint matched center locking cap right here. That center lock is gonna be so hard to pull on and off, I think, because the pressure is centralized. It's right there in the middle, so you gotta get the right tool for the job. Furthermore, if you look at these wheels and tires, the tire compound itself is just like the ones that you see on the Porsche GT3 RS, all those Nürburgring record cars. A few of their important things to highlight: the front spring rates have been stiffened up by 8%, and the rear spring rates have been stiffened up by 10%. You have an upgraded version of the suspension system with actual geometry that's race-inspired, derived from the GT2. When you go into the track nonstop, obviously, cooling is a massive deal, and this car right here has much larger side intakes that are pretty much identical to the ones that you see on the actual GT2 race car. So they're way up higher and they're grabbing that air to suck it in towards the engine bay. Now this is quite important because we have driven this car on the track, Circuit of the Americas in Texas, and it was in May. We didn't experience any overheating issues whatsoever with the engine itself. No coolant temps getting too high or oil temp. Nothing like that. Since you do have over 800 pounds of downforce, this wing is gonna help you get a lot of it, but only if you put it on the right setting. Right now, this is kind of angled backwards like this, right? There's no angle of attack going on, and it's because this is gonna be in the setting giving you the least amount of drag. When you want to go to the track, and depending on what kind of track you're going on, if you need a lot of downforce, you'll see these three little rivets, and you have three settings for the wing. You can go into the medium downforce or the high downforce mode, and you simply unscrew this, and then the wing will be able to be pushed down from the front, giving you a quick angle. I do like this center divide, and it's just like what I remember was on the MC Extrema, their all-out race car. Let's go ahead and pop the trunk. So just double hit this button right here, and you have to lift up, but it's really heavy to lift up. And then there you have it, guys. Very neat. I mean, you have a little bit of storage space, not very much at all for the type of car this is. And then way up there, you can see the Nettuno twin turbocharged V6, giving you 631 horsepower, 10 more horsepower than the MC20. Okay, we gotta hop inside. Let me show you my favorite view on the whole car. It's directly inside. Once you open the door, you have the full forged carbon doors. Takes a little bit of getting used to it to get in, but once you figure it out, it isn't that bad. So this car does have full carbon fiber bucket seats. They are manually adjustable. There's a strap here in the middle and I can pull it forward and go forward and back. Now, if I go way up here, I usually sit about that close to the steering wheel, and the steering wheel has this really cool full carbon fiber finish on the top. I love that. And when you get towards the higher RPM, it goes from white, blue, and then red to tell you to upshift. That's a cool touch. It's like those modern other Italian cars like Ferraris. I think more brands should add that. Yeah, it has more technology, but I think it's a really cool finish. Plus having the matte carbon everywhere in here, it feels more like a raw race car, especially with like that matte look that Alcantara gives you. Everything else is like that dull, dry, racing rawness. You have the blue stitching everywhere, and these seats have a really incredible blue finish. I think having the Made in Modena right here logo with the yellow paint on it, even down below at the side sills, and this raised drive mode selection column, it just feels different. You don't need cup holders. You don't need any of that stuff. You don't need even that center console lid. You just need something like this. Let's go ahead and turn it on. Here's the start button. Let's get on the road. All right, first fill up with the GT2 Stradale. Here we go, first drive in the Maserati GT2 Stradale on the streets out here. We've made it to a beautiful mountain range. We're being followed by a McLaren, an AMG GT Black Series, and more. This is where it gets exciting, because what does the AMG Black Series represent? The ultimate pinnacle Mercedes track car. That is not a multi-million-dollar car, the Project One. It is something that is based off an entry-level supercar they have, the AMG GT, and it's the ultimate version. Well, what is this vehicle based off of inherently? It's a derivative of the MC20 lineup. They're brand new, if you look back years ago, they're brand new mid-engine, 6-cylinder powered supercar with the twin-turbo Nettuno features. It's just a really incredible car because it's got a carbon tub just like the McLaren behind us. That's why I've referenced that too. So when you blend in the track-focused upgrades that the AMG GT Black Series stands for, plus all that cool tech out of like a modern McLaren with a carbon tub, they've created a very unique Italian supercar which has no direct competitors right now. Because the Ferraris you buy, they don't have carbon fiber tubs. Nothing like that. This thing feels totally different, totally different. You know, the capability of them are so high that you're not going to find the limit on the street, and it's not something that you should even try, but you want to get the feeling of a track car in the street, and it does give you that. Wow, it sounds incredible in this mode. Corsa is the race mode, sport mode is the second most aggressive, and let's just get a feel for it out here. I love the fixed paddles, because when you start accelerating, they feel really good to the touch, having full carbon fiber everywhere. I feel like I used to watch so much Grand Tour and Top Gear when I was younger. I feel like I'm in an episode of that right now, because having the full Alcantara race-like finish in here with the blue seats, the yellow painted trim lining all throughout, the blue grab handles that are lightweight straps to close the doors. It just feels fun. It feels edgy, and that's what I like about it. So many cars look and feel the same these days, don't they? I want to get into a car that's just not another 911. It's not just another C8 Corvette. I want something that's just fun. Wow, this thing sounds so good. You can hear all the turbo noises all the time. You see the shift indicators right there on the steering wheel. And for being turbocharged, the Nettuno 6-cylinder is very smooth. Like, it doesn't feel like the turbos spool up too late and you're getting like an incredibly sharp curve of power delivery. It feels very smooth and gradual. Though again, if you want to see the full track performance footage, I'll have it linked on the top of the screen right now, where I test this car on the actual road course. But out here, It's more so seeing how Stradale, which means road in Italian, translates to an actual road with a production GT2. Oh gosh. Man, those lights on that steering wheel, I wish my car had that. This thing is coming together so good. It starts to vibrate and sound more aggressive in the higher RPM. Oh my gosh. It feels like an Italian supercar. It does. This thing, oh my gosh. The turbos. You can hear the turbos when you let off on the power, and it does bottom out, which is strange for a track car on the street. Like it's probably one of the most aggressively low performance track cars you can buy. Whoa, it just is aggressive. You know, like so many cars feel tame to me these days, but we're not even in Corso mode, and it just feels like this is a proper performance toy. Let's roll on the windows, shall we? Let's see how it sounds. Listen to the turbos. Hear that? Hear that? Hear that? All right, so we've made it to a downtown portion of a mountain range, and I do want to add that when you get inside this, it does feel very stiff. You know, it's a very aggressive car, and to some people, they may not be into that. But to me, that makes it stand out. It makes it feel like there's more drama, there's more of an occasion. You're getting into something that's different, and it reminds you why it's different. I want to get into a car that feels unlike any other car I've been in, and that's what this car gives me. The steering feel is very precise with the Michelin Cup 2Rs. These are the N0 or N0 specs, so these are basically Porsche spec Michelin Cup 2Rs. So like I'm saying in the sense of how sticky they are, this is Nürburgring lap time sticky. With the aero, you're getting not only tons of exterior aggressive aero with the vents on the hood, the front fenders, even the massive rear wing that's adjustable. Right now we have it in the easiest mode for the DRS, so it's not like turned on with the downforce, so it's not angled yet. Furthermore, when you look underneath the car, you have all these like side strakes. It's like 3 in either side, and I think that's what's bottoming out sometimes over like little bumps on the road. It's really low, but that helps to suck the car down. I think this car it's definitely lower to the ground than my 750S. It's lower to the ground than a lot of supercars that I've tested. So that can be a problem. You have to always raise that lift. And as you can see, getting out of the GT2, these doors are just absolutely crazy how far they go out. Completely different than dihedral doors that you find on like a McLaren. But since we have another really legendary track supercar to my left, the Black Series, the king of the Nürburgring, right before the AMG Project 1 came out. I love seeing all the similarities when it comes to these track-focused builds, because this has the louver blades right here in the front fenders. So does this, all the hood vents on either or. So it's neat seeing when it comes to building these track-focused limited edition supercars, all these brands go about it at a very similar way. Both of these are running on the Michelin Cup 2Rs, which is one important trend that we have found over the years when it comes to these track-focused supercars. It seems like the tire that is being put on these cars. Same with the 911 GT3 RS, the new GTD. They all use these tires, and they're like $3,000 a set. Check out this view, guys. I've not actually been over here to this lake. I think it's called Lake Hemet. It's a reservoir, right? You see like the dam ending over there, and it actually said no swimming. So wonder why. Let us know if you know why in the comments below. You know, I do want to make a few points. Driving this over here, you can see all these rocks on the ground. This car, these tires are just so sticky. You can come look at this. The Michelin Cup 2Rs, if we bend down, These are not just regular Cup 2Rs. This is on a whole different level of focus, and even the ones you see on the Corvettes, because like the Corvette ZR1, Z06 Cup 2Rs, you guys are very familiar with probably, those are run flat Cup 2Rs, or they're much harder, and they're just more compromised compared to these, because not only are they much more rigid because they're safer for having any punctures, because it's got that punctured like protection that Corvette has had for a long time now. They're heavier. They're much heavier. And you know, we've interviewed the engineers from the Corvette team, and they tell us that that extra rigidity helps with the performance. But honestly, in my opinion, they talk so much about rotating mass. It's significantly heavier than a regular Cup 2R. So these are more aggressive, and they're the same type that are on the Porsche GT3 RS, the NO specification. I just think more cars should have these types of tires to focus, because we did one test not too long ago with, what is it, the STO, the Super Trofeo Omologato, and that car compared to this, I mean, it's got all the visual appeal, right, that this has for the track, a cool shark fin, a wing that's like this, that's adjustable. But the element that's different with it versus this is like it has Bridgestone Potenza Sport tires. It's not in the same category of gripness as these. And I'll tell you firsthand after tracking the STO too. We've been driving today with the regular wing setting, but we've already experimented with that on the track, right, with the most aggressive stuff. There's just a few big caveats, guys. I just want to tell you, yes, I think if you're a track enthusiast and you want something special, this is the car to get. There's so many different tools you can choose for the job. You can have the blunt force instrument with a ton of horsepower. You can have the car that's the best for the straightaways. Or you can have a car that may not have the most amount of acceleration power, but it fills the void in terms of that spot others won't. Others that are more broad are able to do a lot of different things well, but not one thing perfect. This has a focus, and as with anything, with life, in terms of even hobbies too, when you dedicate yourself in a team to one central idea, one central theme, you'll prove to have the best result. And I think that's why this is the best Maserati yet. Yes, it's got 132 pounds less of a curb weight than a regular MC20. It's about 3,200 pounds, 0 to 60s in 2.8 seconds. That's a good number, right? But there's 2-second flat 0 to 60 cars out there. And guess what? Do I care? No. No, I don't. Do I think that these cars would be better if they're cheaper? Yes, that's my opinion. And I really hope it's going to hold its value. I think it will. And that's just my full review, guys. The best comes from teams that are passionate about one central idea, not being compromised, in creating the best thing for the track or for the street, whatever it's going to be, as possible. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, please hit the like button to help me out, and subscribe for much more great content coming out your way. And hit the notification bell. Stay tuned for more tests and reviews coming out. We're going to go enjoy the lake, and I'll see you in the next one.